Thank you once again for coming on. How have you been?
Amazing. Thank you, Sam. It's been quite a ride since we spoke last, and this is just amazing. You never expect to be here, and here we are. So it's great.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love doing these second interviews because you really kind of get to see that progress of someone who takes trading seriously. And I think, if I remember correctly, last time. I was very impressed by how seriously you took trading, like how you treated it as a business, not as a get-rich-quick scheme. And living proof right now, months later, you're back again, bigger payouts. It just shows, if you follow that process, how far you can actually come. And I do really would love to know when you pass those 5 accounts. Because I'm sure you'll pass them, I have no doubt. And how you're going to be, in a year from now is going to be insane.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about.
It really is. It really is. Has there been any changes to your trading since we last spoke, or are you sticking to you're not changing the recipe?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'm looking a little bit at supply and demand. But really, I like going with the trend, and I'm not always perfect by it, but I really try. I heard a piece of advice a couple years back. He said, not every strategy is perfect, but if you just implement a strategy and stick to it, then it's going to win over time. And I think that's really important, because I think everyone is always, a lot of people, and I did this a lot too, and I still am resisting it, where you have shiny object syndrome and you're trying to do a bunch of different things. But I think the biggest thing is people don't see through a strategy long enough to see the fruits of the law of numbers over time. Because if you just do a small sample size and you're hopping one strategy and now you're in another strategy, it's like, then it's tough, especially to stay consistent doing that. So, and that's really, in my opinion, a huge part of it, from what I've learned and reading and all that different stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is the exact kind of playbook we see the most successful traders follow. They never change the recipe. They might evolve a little bit over time as the markets evolve, add little bits, but they never change the fundamental principles. They never remove their edge by flip-flopping between different strategies. And as you just said a minute ago, if you take a small sample size, you can lose 10 trades in a row. It's possible. Even if you have a very decent win rate, it's still technically possible. Unlikely, but possible.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean all of a sudden your strategy has stopped working. Doesn't mean you need to change something. You just got to keep sticking with it. If anything, that's the time where you really need to stick to your strategy more than any time before. If you're on a losing streak, to ensure.
So true.
You start getting into the positive again.
Yeah, I've seen that for sure. The flip on that.
Oh, we all have. That was, for me at least, like a light bulb moment in my trading, when I realized the biggest mistakes I made was changing when things were going bad.
Yeah, exactly. So true.
You just don't let your edge play out, and it's a losing battle then.
Exactly. I remember looking back on a vacation we took, and I was in kind of a losing streak, went into the vacation, looked back at the charts when we came back, and there was so many times where my strategy would have worked really well. I could have brought the account back up, and then back after the vacation, you start revenge trading, trying to get back, and you just blow accounts doing that. It's you're not sticking to your strategy, being emotional, doing all this stuff, and that's just detrimental to your accounts if you trade like that, in my opinion. Personal experience.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I remember back in the days when I used to backtest a lot, and I still do occasionally backtest, but obviously more as a beginner, you were backtesting more. And I remember I made a crucial mistake once because I backtested the whole 24 hours of the market for many days. So I was looking at all the data and I was like, oh yeah, this looks good. I not realizing that I'm taking trades in the Asian session when I would be asleep, where naturally, if you're forward testing, of course, I'm not going to be trading at that time.
Yep.
So, and then when it came to, actually the live market, it didn't play out as my numbers projected, because I was back testing like every hour of the day. And I would look back and then be like, how did I have a losing day? And I look back and I'd be like, oh, all my winning trades were in the Asian session. If only I took them then.
My gosh.
That's when I realized time is very important in a market as well. You need to have some kind of element of when you will actually be trading and put that in, because you're not a robot.
I mean, every session is just so different. What a eureka moment for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't do Asia anymore.
Which session is your favorite to trade?
I like London. I feel like I get the best price action during London, and I've kind of gotten in this groove where, I can kiss my family goodnight and go do a little bit, look for some setups, and then just hit my setups and then leave it, and really have an excuse to just let it play out, because otherwise sometimes I'm over managing it if I get too much into it during the day. But I have a day job, so it kind of helps me to manage that, not be so involved during the day. But Asia, after work I look, and it's just for my time zone, it's just so much slower to sit around forever.
Oh, absolutely. And London's a nice session, especially for you. Like you said, it must be a bit more difficult because it will be quite late at night for you. Yeah. I mean, it's even too early for me to trade half the time. I like to have a bit of a lay-in. So.
Yeah. So, thankfully, it's Sunday night, so that's good, and then we get Friday night off here, so it's kind of works out. So. It's been working for now. It's not the perfect situation time-wise. Maybe we'll move to Europe someday, but it works for now.
Definitely. And for the viewers who probably will watch this interview for the first time and haven't seen your last one, remind us a little bit about yourself. So you mentioned you had a day job. What do you do outside of trading?
Yeah, so I work in real estate, actually. I work for a guy who is across the country. He has a small business and he works in real estate. And so I work with kind of day-to-day operations. I work with client relations and, helping set up projects and get things going, and a lot of help with the different marketing. And I'm kind of a lot of catch-all in what I do. I set up a lot of spreadsheets, and it sounds pretty boring when I list it out, but I don't mind it.
No, hey, I mean, that's it pays the bills. That's probably one of the most important things, because we see so many times people who, especially, had success like what you've had. 18 grand is a decent amount of money so far. And, it looks like it's not going to slow down anytime soon. A lot of people would be ready to quit their job. Like, okay, I'm a trader now, I'm successful. I can, just enjoy my life, go on holiday and trade on a beach, and or the whole fake dream of being a trader, essentially. But it's good you're sticking with your day job. Because it's just unnecessary pressure if you focus too much on trading, because it's like jumping from a demo environment to a live environment then, because now the money is not just an added extra, it's necessary for survival. Right. And exactly. It adds a whole nother element to your trading, where all of a sudden your emotions get the better of you, and it's scary. So I would always say to traders out there, if you're starting to get down the path of success, remain humble about it. Definitely. Don't buy a Lamborghini. Don't make big extravagant purchases. You know, keep your cash flow coming and your bills low, because the moment you get to that kind of where you need that amount of money every month, that's when all of a sudden you have a bad month, everything crumbles, they take away your car, and you know, now you're it's so hard to dig yourself out that hole.
Exactly.
So,
Yep. You never, I really, one of the big things for me is I never want to trade out of desperation. And so I feel like I get much more emotional when I'm like that. And so, yeah, just keeping my job, who knows what the future will hold. But at least for now, it's really good stability where it's like, I might win this, I might not, but let's just have the numbers play out and just stick to the script I've got, and we're going to be okay long term. And market conditions change, and that's a big thing too. I want to be cautious. It's single income for the family right now, and that's we got to play it safe, really. And especially if you
Absolutely.
don't loathe your job, there's no reason to rush it. So
Absolutely. Because again, for me, like for the longest time, I was just a trader. And while I did okay, the moment I kind of had different income streams, my trading somehow got better. Because I was more
so
relaxed.
curious.
I was like,
Yeah.
Even though you would think, I have less time to trade now, I'm going to be more stressed in general, but the opposite happened. It's amazing what a second income can do to your overall kind of trading career, because
Exactly.
everything is psychology when it comes to trading.
Very true.
It's your mind is your worst enemy or your best asset in trading.
Very true.
And it's up to you.
Oh man, yeah, it can wreck you or it can make you millions long term. So it's really
Exactly
really up
that.
to you in the end. Yeah, 'cause
So
it's so
true.
easy, for the fear and greed, just two extreme opposite emotions that are playing. And so if you can learn to subdue those emotions and just kind of be more methodical about everything, I think that's been huge in my journey for sure. And I don't even go to all the seminars and everything. It's just like applying a few basic tidbits I've learned along the way, and applying what I know.
Absolutely.
Probably should do more back testing, probably should do more all that, but just sticking with something that works and turns out okay long term. If it's a good plan, obviously if it's a bad plan, you're not going to do so great. But forward testing is important with that too. See what your results are and change course if you need to.
Absolutely agree. David, is it possible you could kind of walk us through maybe a trade you've recently taken?
Sure.
I know the viewers love to see a bit of, actual charts and whatnot. So
I'll get my chart ready here for you.
Awesome.
And honestly, this last day or two hasn't been great, but I will kind of share what I showed.
It has been a weird week.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, gold. Yeah, gold.
Yeah.
I feel for you. Gold's been,
it's like, oh, great. I think I got in right around here for a sell recently, and then, I'm out, and then, it's just been like that the last couple of days. I finally saw something, like, oh, here we go. I like these trends. I like all these bars, and it goes the other way.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me? So I like, kind of zooming out to the hour chart and see what's going on. It really is kind of the same story. It's almost identical to the 1 minute chart today, that this 1 hour chart that goes back a few days. It's just like it's been really choppy, and gold honestly has not been great, but I also appreciate the yen. Going with the where's my GPY? There we go. Sorry.
That's okay.
I like the trends I've been seeing on the yen. I had one here that ended nicely over here, and then I took another one right around.
Oh, lovely.
After it was taken off. So yeah, nothing too fancy. Sometimes I'll use these moving averages for for confirmation, or we got there's ATR I can look at, but I really try not use too much of this. I feel like it just overcomplicates things. I really like the 1 hour, and I like kind of confirming on the 1 minute. Why this is being, if I see a good spot in the 1 minute and strong momentum, and it kind of lines up with the 1 hour, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why my charts are going so wonky, but in any case, pound was like that too. So it's a very similar price action recently, just downwards, and euro as well. So yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, nothing too crazy. I've got super trend on tap. That kind of helps with seeing what confirmation of trends, and different volume indicators, just to see triple check, make sure it's not just a random price movement, but it's being driven by a lot of movement, a lot of pressure, and I like to see that, especially on the 1 hour. I like confirming with the volume and seeing what's happened over the full hour, instead of just random minutes here and there that are getting some good volume. So yeah,
I gotta say, the yen here is what a lovely chart. I mean,
it's been nice. Yeah.
Almost looks like
kind of chopping around a little bit, and that was frustrating, and now we're kind of trending. I'm wondering how much this is going to pull back, but I guess we'll see tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it almost looks like the Loch Ness Monster, the famous picture of the Loch Ness Monster popping out of the water. I mean, incredible. But you're right, gold has been, it looks like it's in quite a range now. Your strategy is very trend-based, correct?
Yeah. I think that's been the difficulty, hitting all these all-time highs. It's just, it just gets stagnant. We have momentum, but who knows when we're going to go through it. So, even the week long, you can see it's just been up and up. So usually I really like gold. Most of my payouts have been on gold, but this week it's just been frustrating. But sorry to cut you off if you have.
No, not at all. No, you're absolutely right. And this is exactly like going back to what we were speaking about earlier. There's going to be times where the market is not going to behave in the best way to suit your strategy. Now, there's you could theoretically say, right, we're in a range, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat it like a range and short it at the top of the range, buy it at the bottom. But then you know your data, your stats, and you know that if you just carry on doing what you're currently doing, it's going to break out the range at some point. It has to. And, that's when you'll start making the money again. So, again, not changing the recipe.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I used to try and chase those ranges and go, get the highest and then bottom out at the lowest. And sometimes it works, but, I find it's more stressful than just trying to wait for a trend. And that's why I've added on more pairs with the euro and pound and all that, just to see, what's trending, what's going on. Last week gold was better for trending. This week it's not, but, euro's been treating me well, and I'm almost passing a challenge with it currently. So, I think it's really just waiting for the market to come to you instead of chasing it, which is a lifelong discipline to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless you're really good at this.
I mean, you must be very disciplined because, you trade more longer term as well. Excuse me, you trade more longer term. So you're waiting, I'm assuming you can wait days for a setup sometimes.
It can be, yeah. I try and limit the amount of times I'm pulling the trigger, 2 to 3 times a day at most. But yeah, and then the flip side is you want to be able to not just sit forever too, and make progress on your challenge. Obviously, futures you have timeline, but Forex you have as much time as you want. So, it's a balance for sure. You don't want to go overboard and don't want to go underboard too, I guess.
No,
if that's a
absolutely.
thing.
100%. Yeah. And that's what I always found difficult with trading. I think that's why I gravitated towards being a scalper, because I was just too impatient. Patience is probably my... I still to this day I haven't mastered patience. I have to distract myself sometimes from not trade, and because every fiber of my body wants to kind of get into the market. Oh, I'll just take a quick trade here. And I'm thinking, no, like, what am I doing? There's no trade here. I'm just guessing at this point, you know?
Yeah, so true. Yeah, I know. I found, I forget, someone I heard a long time ago, give yourself rewards and make it easy to do stuff that's hard. So like if you need to fold clothes more often, you're just leaving them around. We'll put them in a place where it's going to be easier. Like if you have a chair you always sit on, put it on that chair, and then when you come to that chair, I'll do it. At least, for trading, you can kind of, I have two monitors, thankfully, so I can maybe watch something on one monitor and wait on the other side. And not that I'm sitting there like a hawk all the time, but, you can glance over and, do other stuff. Or, sometimes I'll still trade during the day during the U.S. session. I have my work to distract me, 99% of the time. So I can't just sit there either. So, yeah, just finding what works, I think that's really important. And, mental stability is really important in this industry, I think, to at least be successful. And so just finding something that works for you and your flow and, what's going on. I pray a lot, see what's going on, see what I can do, get my nerves calmed, and just, make the best of the situation, and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out. Just keep trying.
Very well said. Very well said.
Not that you need that advice. You're great at that, but anyone listening.
I still battle with it every day. And this is the weird thing, like every time I do these interviews as well, we always, I always ask questions like, oh, how did you overcome the psychology of trading? But I truly believe no one ever really overcomes it. You just learn how to kind of, control it more than anything. Yeah. Because it really is kind of like a roller coaster. And it's because, there'll be days where I'll be very disciplined. I don't know why. I have this kind of calmness within me. Yeah. And then there's other days where I have to kind of almost really force myself to not trade because I have this urgency to kind of jump in the market. And
yep, very true.
I don't know. It's like a constant battle, and I don't think I'll ever truly get to the stage where I'm kind of just like this robot type AI human who can just not feel anything and trade perfectly. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. But knowing that about yourself, and then you can adapt based on that, and be more aware when it happens. Yeah. When you're not aware, that's, I think, when it's even a bigger danger, because then you don't know until your account's blown. Or hopefully your account blowing is a wake-up call.
So true. And I guess my point is, for people watching, don't beat yourself up too much if you're like, I can't seem to overcome it. We're all in the same boat. It's something that will always kind of be there, and you just have to control it. And it's also the saying of, successful trader. I think when it comes to trading, it's probably one of the only professions where I don't think you could ever really call yourself a successful trader, because normally success has kind of like a crossing point, I will, when I pass that exam, I have passed, and I have, I'm successful at getting my degree or whatever. There's a clear kind of line where you kind of cross, and then, okay, you have achieved it. Well done. But with trading, that line is kind of almost always moving, because, all right, you'll have a good month, you can have a good year, but then you could also theoretically lose it all the next month, So you could have been successful for a little while, and then you lost it all. So you almost have to kind of always every day be in the top of your game, and very important, to kind of control your risk and never allow yourself to get down that slope, because there is no line where, if you pass a prop challenge, you're also unsuccessful, or if you get your payout, you're successful. It's an ongoing battle, and there's been people who have made millions and lost millions in trading. So even if you become a millionaire,
Yeah.
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 The fight's not over. You got to,
Yeah.
you can't let your guard down for 1 second when it comes to
Exactly.
trading.
That's one thing I've kind of observed, the market is a lot of other traders, right? And so whatever day you're trading, that is a more or less the same set of traders throughout the whole day. So if your strategy isn't working that day, like you're not just going to keep trying and it's going to be magically different because you're still trading, you're still interacting with the other traders on the other side that are
Yeah.
in bulk the same. So people can complain about market manipulation or what, but we all realize some days have different characteristics than others, and you have to adapt. You can't,
Yeah.
can't just beat yourself, senseless over a bad day or something like that. Just making a bad day worse. I think that's the worst thing to do.
Oh.
Still struggling with that for sure, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of the most painful ones. I've experienced them too many times where even you had a good day and I kept pushing it, got a bit greedy, and I ended up losing and being negative on the day. And that is one of the worst feelings because, everything feels so great and then all of a sudden it all comes crashing down.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of jerk reaction, of being really, feeling really great and then all of a sudden feeling really down is so much worse than just kind of having a bad day.
Right.
It's like, okay, it didn't work out. It's fine. Tomorrow will be better.
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
being, unemotional. Obviously, there's still a little bit of emotions, like I'll put in the trade and I'll try and stay away and check later. And it won, oh, great, or it lost, oh, darn. It's like, there's still emotion to it, but not letting it control you, because emotions are, natural to us, but controlling it and making you the master of it more or less, so important instead of
Absolutely.
the other way around. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's tough.
But who knows? Maybe in the future with AI, we could all. Well, it's not going to happen, but because the market's a zero-sum game. But things like AI is actually quite scary if you think about it.
For sure.
I think the markets might become more noisy because I know in the past, although we're talking like 80s and it was before I was even born. So, but I know the markets were more kind of calm because there was less activity. It wasn't as you didn't have any of these high frequency trading algorithms and all this crazy stuff that we have today, where it's just constant noise.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was easier to trade, but then again, they didn't really have the tools we have today,
Right.
So it's still comparatively was still hard to do.
Yeah.
But as we're kind of moving into this AI era, I can imagine the markets are going to become even more noisy, even more unpredictable. Yeah. So we as traders, risk management moving forward is going to be more important than ever.
Exactly.
You can't just take these risks anymore. You have to really protect your capital. And I think it's Tom Hugard who said, the best loser wins, and it's so true. Exactly. It's not about your wins; it's actually how you manage your losses is more important than trading.
True. Yeah, those are the accounts that I've gotten more payouts on: reducing my risk, staying stricter to my strategy, and just being unemotional about it. Yeah, because the losses will just, you could have a great day. Maybe you got 5,000 on a funded account, and then the next day you can subtract 7,000 and well, what did you accomplish? Now you're in a hole.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some safeguards there with Hola Prime, but still you could have it's 2 days like that, right? Depending on your account type, or 3 days. So yeah, it's so important, not blowing that, because if you have a bad day, you just wait for market conditions to meet what you need and then continue on your journey. Don't make your one bad day stumble your whole journey onto your goals and stuff like that. It's just so it's just self-destructive behavior, I guess they could say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
David, Let's move on really quickly and talk a bit about Hola Prime. Obviously, I have asked you in your last interview, your experience so far, but how has Hola Prime been since then? Are we keeping up to your expectations and keeping you happy as a trader?
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, customer service is always great. Payouts are quick. I mean, yeah, when you put that much emphasis into how quick payouts are, it's sometimes a little weary, but I mean, it's been awesome. I've gotten payouts quick, no denied payouts, and support all the way. Any questions I've had, at the live chat, it's been great. Quick answers, the answers that make sense. Sometimes I'm in customer service chats and they don't even understand what I'm saying, and I've never had that with Hola Prime. All my tech issues and everything it's always been resolved. So, can't say enough. If you're looking for transparent firm, obviously that's one of their values, and quick paying, and the denial rate and all that. If you're frustrated with that with other prop firms, definitely take a look at Hola Prime. I think it's definitely worth it for sure.
Absolutely.
It has been for me and my family.
Amazing. And you're doing so well. And as I mentioned earlier, you have 5 challenge accounts ongoing right now. So, you're going all in, which is great to see. Build that capital up. Each challenge is 100K. Did you take out?
Yeah, I've stuck with 100. Yep.
Amazing. So if you pass them all, you have 600K. That's wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
we'll see.
moving into...
One can hope.
Yeah.
I'm leaving some margin of error, so I'm not disappointed if one fails, but that would be really great.
Yeah. But this is it. You've done so well with one account, which is phenomenal, by the way, because again, it's all psychology, right? So a lot of people, they might have 2 or 3 funded accounts. So if they lose one, it doesn't feel that bad. It's like, okay, I still have 2 more I could fall back on. I'll take another challenge and make that account back up again. But when you only have that one, you're a lot more kind of, again, that's the only one you have. If you lose it, you have to do the whole challenge again. So it's a bit more, every trade will have a bit more pressure to it. So the fact that you've done so well with just one account, hats off to you. I mean, you've got a very strong mind, and
well, I mean, I think it just all points to it's definitely possible. Just if you're struggling, just crack down on your mentality. Just figure out what works for you and just execute. It's nothing too complicated, and know that the markets are gonna not play in your favor every time. But as long as you're okay with that, just law of numbers, it plays out eventually. Trends work, so just go with the trend. If you're following my strategy or develop your own, there's so many strategies out there. So
that's it. And your strategy is a very simple one. It's not, you're not doing anything, too crazy or anything that's unheard of. It's a very simple, follow the trend strategy, few moving averages. You had, I think, the super trend indicator and ATR occasionally, but very simple, things that are proven as well, being back tested since time began, basically, things like moving averages. And it just shows that you don't need to reinvent the wheel to be good at trading. You don't have to be, come up with your own expert advisor or algorithm or some new concept that no one's ever heard of, or find a holy grail. It really is as simple as finding an edge that works for you, that fits with your lifestyle and the time you have available, and just let it play out. Play the long game. Yeah, and exactly. In a few months' time, you can have payouts of thousands and thousands, and just keep building it up, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's simple. You just gotta execute the plan, I guess you could say.
Yeah, 100%.
I used to overcomplicate it. Just don't overcomplicate it. You'll be good.
That's it. Simplify it. Simplify trading.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
David, we'll leave it there. It's been, again, an absolute pleasure talking to you. Always great to have you on. And, good luck with the 5 challenges that you're currently ongoing. I'm sure you'll smash them. And once again, thank you again for coming on, sharing, your charts and being an all-round great guy to talk to. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Likewise, Sam. Always fun being on, and can't wait for the next one. It's always great talking to you.
Definitely. Me too. And to the viewers, thank you guys again for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, join our Discord, and also make sure to tune in to Hola Prime TV. We're live every trading day. That's Monday to Friday, where myself and other trading coaches break down the live markets, take live trades, and sometimes engage in fun competitions with the viewers as well. So it's well worth joining in if you haven't already. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Hola Prime, trade with transparency.